It started with a letter slipped into my mailbox, stamped with the HOA's seal. The message was short but sharp. They demanded I remove the large pine tree in my front yard, claiming it was unsightly and non-compliant with neighborhood standards. That tree wasn't just part of my yard. It was part of my family's holiday tradition. Every year, we decorated it together, turning it into a towering Christmas display for everyone to enjoy. This year was no different except now. The HOA had made it clear they intended to ruin it. But I wasn't planning to give in. I stared at the tree, tall and proud, its branches stretching wide. It wasn't hurting anyone, and the neighbors loved it during the holidays. The HOA's order wasn't about aesthetics, it was about control. Instead of taking it down, I decided to push back in a way they wouldn't forget. Trucks began arriving, loaded with boxes of lights, extension cords, and massive decorations. My driveway became a staging ground for something outrageous. Neighbors walked by, whispering, curious about what was coming. The HOA board members circled like hawks, sensing rebellion. They wanted my tree gone. Instead, I was about to crown it. The first night of decorating was only the beginning. I wrapped the trunk in glowing strands, climbing higher and higher until the entire tree shimmered with light. Branches dripped with glowing ornaments, and at the very top, a massive star gleamed brighter than anything on the street. The HOA sent a second notice, furious at what I had done. But by then, it was too late. Cars slowed down, children pointed with wide eyes, and the once ordinary pine tree became the centerpiece of the entire neighborhood. What they wanted erased was now impossible to ignore, and I wasn't finished yet. Soon, the tree turned into a spectacle. I installed synchronized lights that danced to holiday music, echoing through the block. Inflatable snowmen and candy canes lined the base, while spotlights made the tree glow like a beacon. Word spread quickly. Neighbors brought their families to watch the nightly show, clapping and laughing in the cold air. The HOA panicked. More letters arrived, threatening fines and demanding immediate removal. But every attempt to shut me down only made the display grow. What began as a simple tree had transformed into a defiant holiday landmark, and the crowd around it kept growing. Within a week, videos of the tree flooded social media. Headlines appeared. HOA versus the Christmas tree and the holiday show that refused to be silenced. Cars lined the streets, tourists stopped to take photos, and news crews set up cameras. My neighborhood had become a holiday attraction, and the HOA hated every second of it. They claimed the lights were a distraction, a hazard, even a nuisance. But to everyone else, the tree represented joy, resilience, and rebellion. What they wanted gone had become a viral sensation. The HOA had lost control, and they knew it. Desperate, the HOA threatened lawsuits, fines stacking daily, and even talked about hiring contractors to forcibly remove the tree. But by then, I had the public on my side. Support poured in donations, volunteers, and offers to help expand the display. Neighbors pitched in with their own decorations, and soon the entire street shimmered with lights. Authority crumbled as more homeowners joined me, creating a glowing rebellion they couldn't stop. What started as their demand to cut down a tree had sparked a movement, and with each passing night, the crowds only grew bigger, louder, and brighter. The breaking point came when the mayor himself visited the display, praising it as a holiday attraction that brought joy to the community. The HOA's threats collapsed under public scrutiny, and board members were mocked as the villains in a holiday drama. Cameras captured their sour faces as they tried and failed to enforce their demands. My tree, covered in lights visible from the highway, had become untouchable. What they saw as an eyesore was now celebrated citywide.
Nice.
Their fight wasn't about rules anymore. It was about pride. And in the end, their pride had destroyed their credibility. By Christmas Eve, the tree was shining brighter than ever. Families gathered around it, singing carols, sipping cocoa, and snapping photos under its glow. The HOA had gone silent, defeated and humiliated. The tree they demanded be removed now stood as a permanent reminder of their failure. For me, it was never just about lights or decorations. It was about standing up to unfair control. The pine tree, once ordinary, had become a symbol of freedom, resilience, and joy. They tried to erase it. Instead, I lit it up so bright the whole world could see.